Hello, everyone in podcast listening land. I'm Karen DeVanie.
And I'm Anne Varner.
And we're sisters.
Welcome to Sugar-Coated Murder, where we'll discuss
and probably inappropriately laugh about and comment on.
Yep, one of our favorite subjects.
Murder. Oh, and we love to bake. And why not combine our two favorite subjects?
Baking.
And killers. Hey, Sugar.
Hey.
What are you doing in there?
I'm going to cook a little pound cake today.
Oh, my God. I love pound cake. What kind of pound cake is it?
So this is a chocolate chip pound cake.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It's so good, but it's so easy. It's not your traditional Southern smack you in the mouth. I need a pound of butter pound cake.
Yeah, but we don't tell people those things. When we take them to their house, we act like we're exhausted from all the hours of butter churning that we've been doing.
All that butter we churn just for your cake.
Yeah, and then we act like, whoo, Lord, I'm going to have to sit up a spell and lay on the fainting couch before I can go any further.
And oh, please cut me a slice of that cake.
I'll have, and it's still warm, so you might as well share it now.
Yeah, so this is actually a recipe that we've had for a long time that you use a boxed cake mix. We use the Duncan Hines butter recipe. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't use any other because, I don't know. I just wouldn't. That's what works and it tastes great. Secret. And then you use some a small box of the Jell-O instant vanilla pudding and some sour cream, some oil, some eggs, and you mix it all together, put it in a buttered floured pan. You fold in chocolate chips at the end, and then you put it in your buttered floured bundt pan. Mm-hmm. It cooks for about an hour or so. So I like recipes like that because then I can take a load off while it's cooking.
Heck yeah, read a People magazine, girl.
Exactly. So that's what we're cooking up today.
It sounds yummy, and I'm ready for you to get to going.
I'm going. Let's go. What kind of murder do you want to talk to beat? Do you have a murder?
I have a murder, and it's actually one that hails from Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
So,
top of the morning to you.
Oh, and a happy St. Patty's Day to you as well. No,
yeah, we're nailing it. We're nailing those accents.
Yeah, that's Southern Ireland. That's from Southern Ireland, and I don't know the Northern Ireland one.
Top of the morning to you.
That's what it is. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure people would think you were a native if you went there.
Absolutely.
You guys here in Ireland?
Oh, Ireland.
Ireland. That's more Southern. That's more I would say that's country Ireland.
I think the only way we're really going to be able to pick it up and figure it out is to go. We need to visit.
Road trip. Air trip.
All right, let's talk about that murder you got going on in Ireland.
In Ireland. So it's actually happening in South Dublin.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the mole halls.
The mole halls?
Mole halls. Not the mole hills.
No.
The mole halls.
Mole. Like as in mulled wine?
A little bit like that,
Or my dog mauled you?
No, that's not it. That's mauled.
Right,
This is mull, like mulled wine.
Okay.
And hall, like deck the halls.
Deck the halls.
Okay. So they're from Kilclare Gardens in South Dublin. It sounds serene.
They just have the best names there.
I know. Love it. So there's some parents there named John and Kathleen.
Okay.
They have 3 boys and 3 girls. A good Irish Catholic family that does not use birth control.
Okay.
3 boys, 3 girls. So allegedly, John abused Kathleen in their marriage. And their marriage broke down, and John moved out of the family home and took some kids with him. I don't know who got to pick. Look, I'd be like, I'll take some kids, but I get to handpick the good ones. You are going to be staying here with the bad kids. So he took some of the kids with him, and then Kathleen ended up starting up a relationship with a man named Farah. His name was Farah Swalla. Not Swalla, but Swalla. Swalla Noor was his last name. So that was his middle name. It's Swaleh.
Okay.
Swalla.
I don't know. I don't even know what to do with that name. Is that a real name?
Farah Noor. We're going to Farah S. Noor if we need to.
No, we don't.
Okay. Let's just don't talk about that name. After a year, Kathleen and her new lover, Farah, That's my lover. They moved to Cork, and John and the children that he had moved back into the family home. I have a feeling that they didn't get divorced because they were Catholic. They just went out and boinked all the people that they needed to boink and just didn't live together.
They're lovers.
That's my assessment. So, John and his kids moved back into the home, and 3 years later, Kathleen and her lover, Farah, returned to Dublin. Allegedly, Kathleen also suffered abuse by Farah. So, we're going to talk about daughter number 1. Her name is Linda. At the time of the event which I am going to describe, daughter Linda was unemployed. She had left school early, like she had left high school early.
Oh, no.
To produce and raise 4 children of her own. And when the relationship with the father of her children broke up, she got into a relationship with this dude named Wayne, who abused her children from her previous relationship. And that guy, Wayne, ended up going to prison and serving 6 years for the abuse. This was a bad dude. She did not have, I just don't feel like Linda had real good luck with men. I feel like she maybe didn't have a good picker. She didn't have a good man picker. So,
happens to the best of us.
I know. So that guy went to prison and ended up stabbing somebody after he got out of prison and went back to prison for life. So that guy's off our radar. Wayne, we've talked about you. Now you're out of the story.
Goodbye.
Okay. Daughter number 2 is Charlotte. She's 9 years younger than Linda.
Oh, that's a big gap.
Yeah. She, like her sister, had some alcohol addictions. She had some drug issues. She was a petty criminal, and at times she worked as a worker in the sex industry.
Oh, Charlotte.
I mean, it happens. It happens. It's just one of those ugly sides of life. So both girls had stayed with their mom, and like when the mom and the dad split, they were two of the kids that must have been the bad kids got left behind. So they stayed with their mom, and I guess they had a pretty tough upbringing because I don't think the mom was born with a good man picker either. And so this Farah guy must not have been, a real easy guy to live with. So let's talk about Farah. Farah S. Noor.
Farah. All right.
He was born in 1965. I'm familiar with that year. He's from Kenya originally. He arrived in Ireland in 1996 and at the time claimed to be Somali.
Oh.
And said his family name was Shalila Salim.
I make the names easy for
word
you.
salad. I already have a hard enough time, and now it's the word salad. Oh, look, there's Trout making his cameo appearance as he does every single podcast.
So
I don't
Trout
understand.
is my dog.
Yes,
he is a little 14-pound
vicious
rat terrier mix that gets so far underneath my sister Karen's skin, she can't hardly see straight.
Well, I mean, the dog and I just don't see eye to eye on good behavior. That is for sure.
He gets a little intimidated by anybody who's standing in the house and not paying attention to him.
Which I need to not do that. So.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. Back to the podcast.
No problem. Okay. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by your dog. So, this dude, Farah, says that he is from Mogadishu and said his family had been killed there in the Civil War. Wiped out.
Oh.
Authorities discover that he is actually Farah Swallah Noor, and he is Somali, but he's from Kenya, and his family is, in fact, alive and kicking.
Oh, man.
So they're like, something is squirrely here. We're going to have to deport you. But he appealed it and was eventually granted Irish citizenship. And let me tell you how this happened, because this to me is ridiculous. So as he's appealing his citizenship and waiting around to see if they'll keep him or kick him out, he actually fathers an Irish-born child, which means that the child was born on Irish soil.
All right.
So he's also racking up some criminal behavior like public intoxication, which I'm thinking that's just a typical Sunday out in Ireland. I'm not sure. I'm not saying all the people there are drunks, but I think it's like pretty much a place where people might drink and have a good time on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean,
and so, typical
Wednesday afternoon.
Absolutely. So he also gets a little abusive with some people. He threatens some people. And then in 97, he actually raped a mentally disabled 16-year-old Chinese girl.
What?
She later gave birth to a son. That's how he got his citizenship, because he had fathered a child on Irish soil. That's zany.
Wow.
That's
just the kind of
zany.
citizen we want, right?
Exactly.
Hey, you
Turns
committed
out,
all these crimes.
yeah.
Oh my God. And you raped a woman and had a baby.
Keep her.
You're in.
Yeah. So
We'll take you.
he also fathered children with two other women who also later reported that those pregnancies were products of rape.
Oh.
So he's got a little bit of an MO.
His thing in his pants.
Yeah, keep that willy in your Wonka. So anyway, so he was convicted on 3 occasions of rape, but he never served jail time.
Really?
Like, what is happening over there? Who's paying attention?
Right. I feel like maybe nobody.
Nobody's paying attention. That's who.
Somebody wake up.
So he bounces around Ireland and he finally meets up with good old Kathleen, and they settle into Dublin in a flat that she had rented. So we come to St. Paddy's Day.
Okay.
And that's a national holiday in Ireland.
I can imagine.
It's a bank holiday. Well, schools are closed, banks are closed. I don't know what kind of postal delivery service they have there, but I'm sure that wasn't working either. So, what else does a family do in Ireland on St. Paddy's Day? They go out a-drinking.
A partay.
Yes. So, how else are you going to meet up with a leprechaun if you don't drink in the streets?
Come on.
Anyway.
And we know on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, the streets are paved in gold. The water flows green.
Oh, and the sky is green.
The sky is
there
green.
There are rainbows everywhere. Like, it's like the Lucky Charms.
Double rainbows.
Like, yeah. Well, you know how the Lucky Charms, the little marshmallows spin in the air?
Yeah.
I think it's everywhere.
And it's all magically delicious.
Yes, and I think everybody gets up and has Baileys. The children have Baileys in their bottles. The shortbread is made with Baileys that day.
Maybe a little Jameson Irish whiskey.
Oh, gosh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Irish coffee for everyone.
Everyone. And green beer. Don't forget the green beer.
Oh, my God. Think about what that sewage system looks 2 days later. That's when everything turns green.
Oh.
So, anyway, Kathleen and Farah end up in a flat, and they're out partying on this national holiday, St. Paddy's Day. And they're with her two daughters, Linda and Charlotte.
Okay.
Everybody is out and about, and
family fun day.
They're out partying it up with some vodka.
Oh, vodka.
Yeah, because it's made with potatoes. And everybody thinks vodka is Russian. I don't think so. I think vodka is definitely Irish because it's made with potatoes.
Yes.
It's some taters in there. So anyway, they're out partying, and Linda and Charlotte decide, just like mothers and daughters do, they also enjoy some ecstasy pills together.
Oh, no.
Because that's what you do.
Really?
Well, that's what bonds you as a family, I guess.
Okay.
So, and they think it's really funny that they crush up and spike Farah's vodka drink with a little ecstasy.
Oh, now that's a great plan.
Yeah.
Let's give the rapist some ecstasy and
Let's
see
give
what happens.
the dude who can't keep his willy in his pants some ecstasy. So what is he going to want to do? He's going to want to love on everybody.
Yeah, that's good thought,
everybody going to get a little piece of Farah.
Good thinking.
So they end up going back to the flat where everybody is drunk or high or both, and they party it up. And, Farah makes a sexual pass at Kathleen's daughter, Linda.
Oh, well, that's to be expected.
I know. So, Trout, you are going to drive me to drinking some potato vodka.
Oh, no. Come here, Trout.
So, Farah gets quite aggressive with Linda, and this pisses off Kathleen because she is a mom.
Well, yeah.
Oh, my God. And there's a verbal altercation that starts up, and supposedly Farrah gets a little aggressive as well.
Oh.
And so Kathleen blurts out to her daughters, "Just kill him for me."
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yes. So, I mean, what would any good daughter do? She picks up a Stanley knife. And let me tell you what do you know what a Stanley knife is?
No, only what a Stanley steamer is, and I don't think it's the same thing.
I don't think she hit him with the Stanley steamer. No, this is one of those big utility box cutters that people use in warehouses. I don't know why it's just laying about in Kathleen's apartment.
Really?
Because if it were me, I'd be like, box cutter. Okay, I got to go in the closet, get the toolbox, open it. I got to get it open. I got to go to the bottom shelf of the toolbox, and then I got to dig through that, pull up a rusty old box cutter. And then it's going to be dull. I'm going to need a new blade, or it's going to be broken.
Or the blade's going to be missing.
Or the little handle thing that pushes it up isn't going to work. And I'll be like, please hold, got to run to Ace, got to get my box cutter. Then I come back, I have to take scissors and get it out of that packaging, because it's got all that packaging around it because it's safe. And then I'll be like, now I got it. Now what were we doing?
What was I doing?
Yeah, okay. So anyway, she picks up this Stanley knife laying about, and she slices Farrah's throat.
Well, for the love of Pete.
And Patty. Yes. So, and then Charlotte picks up a hammer and hits him in the head several times.
Okay.
So, Kathleen...
Because, of course, when you go to get your Stanley knife, you're going to just make sure your hammer is close by.
It's laying about.
Yeah.
It's laying about. You got to use the tools at hand.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So, Kathleen watches this, but does not participate.
No, because why would she get her hands dirty?
That's why you have children.
Right.
Because when they get grown, you make them do your heavy lifting.
Well, sure.
That's what they're for.
Duh.
Okay. So, he ends up getting stabbed at least 20 times.
Oh.
27 to be more exact, because I can't read.
Got a little
It's
anger.
27.
A little anger issue happening.
Seems like they got to going on something and just committed.
Couldn't stop.
They were very
Could not
committed
stop.
to it. So, I don't know how long it takes to stab and slice somebody 27 times, but I would imagine at some point I got to change hands.
I mean, you have to really make a commitment if that's what you're going to do.
And I mean, it's a good workout.
Yeah.
It's a good workout.
Great for the arms.
So, once he's dead, they got to get rid of the body.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, you have to use the tools at hand. So, they take him into the bathtub. They drag him in there.
Okay. Teamwork.
They use the Stanley knife and that hammer, and they take that man's head off.
Lord have mercy. How in God's name?
I'm serious.
This thing must be enormous, this Stanley knife.
I don't think it's that enormous, and I don't think its head is that little. I think it took a long time.
Holy cow.
And I'm telling you, these are committed girls. She raised them right.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, you got to cut through bone and cartilage
Ew,
and muscle.
Cartilage, ew.
Right.
Yeah, and at some point, when do you not get grossed out and say, I can't do this?
No.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. So anyway, they take off his head.
Maybe after they took off his head, they were like, oh, no, I can't do anymore.
No. They take off his head.
Okay.
They take off his arms.
Okay.
They take off his legs.
Right.
And they sliced off his penis.
Oh, dear God.
They sliced off the willy.
Yeah.
Sliced it right off. Now, that's got to probably be the quickest one to slice off, because it's like...
butter.
Well, I don't know about butter, but I'm thinking at least it'd be like a hot dog. I'm saying just like a hot dog. So they take off his penis, and they try to use the towels that they have to catch the flow of the river of blood running around their apartment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I guess they didn't do a good job. They place the body parts in trash bags, and they put the head in a sports duffel bag.
Okay. All right.
Not all right. Not all right.
I don't know why they would have done that, but okay.
Well, I guess they ran out of trash bags.
Well, that happens.
I know.
Can you
when
imagine?
You're low, if it's not
I wish I had gotten trash bags at the
from
store.
Costco and not from Publix or
Right.
Target, where I got the cheap ones that are just like
Yes.
the 20 in the roll. I had no, I wasn't.
Store brand.
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know. I need Force Flex hefty bags.
Yeah.
And I need a gracious plenty of them.
You need to buy the super big pack, and they need to be on hand at all times.
I'm saying I need a spool.
Just
I need a big spool of them.
Can you buy it in a spool?
I'm
I need
not
that
sure.
in spool size, please.
Does that come in a spool size? So anyway, they put his body parts in trash bags. They put his head in a sports bag because that's what those are for. It took several hours, and they take several trips to this very scenic part out at this place called the Royal Canal.
Okay.
So when I think of a Royal Canal, I think of like, you know, people out in this park with maybe the willow trees hanging over the water, and it's scenic, and it's probably got some swans, and there's some butterflies, maybe a couple like in a rowboat, and they're kissing.
And people dumping plastic bags in the water.
They're dumping body parts. They're out dumping body parts.
Well, and you know it's got to be, you know, the dead of night by now, because
probably, or the wee hours of the next morning. But I gotta tell you, don't you think somebody saw them? But it was St. Patrick's Day, so they're probably all drunk going, Did I just see? No, that wasn't.
With a trash.
No. Did she have a leprechaun in that trash bag? No. So anyway, they dump everything into the water except the head.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the pinesse.
Oh, I don't even know where the pinesse is at this point. So they decide not to throw it into the canal, and instead they get up the next day and take that. No. I'm just saying.
Come on.
They get up the next day. They got the head in the duffel bag. And what does any other mother-daughter trio do? They go shopping.
Oh, my God.
They
slept in the same flat with the head. And
First
now
of all,
I'm
shopping. Saying maybe, I'm not sure if a lot of people have cars over in Ireland. I'm thinking they didn't.
Right.
So I'm thinking they probably slept with it. And then they took it shopping. And it's like this open air, like not a shopping mall that's enclosed, but like a shopping, I would say plaza.
A plaza.
Like an outdoor kind of a plaza.
Well, that makes sense, because I would imagine
there's
a very strong smell of iron, like from the blood, maybe?
Well, first of all, it's the after St. Patty's clearance sales. And you gotta go get your after St. Patty's Day clearance sales.
Right, because if it's like our after Christmas, things are marked half price, sometimes 75% off.
They can go as low as 90% off of something. Yeah. I mean, that's what you gotta do.
You got to.
So they go out shopping with the head. I guess nobody says, hey, what's in your duffel bag?
I mean,
that's dripping blood and smells a little foul.
A little foul.
So
there's an odd. You got a basketball for St. Patrick's Day?
It's an odd shape. So evidently there's some kind of a park near the shopping center that they walk to, and that's where Charlotte digs a hole with a knife. She is talented with a knife.
Wow. With a knife.
They should have called her like Jinsu. What are those knives that you get on As on TV? Right. That's what her nickname should be. Jinsu. So she.
Wow. I mean, because that's
why do you take a shovel?
That's a duffel bag, and it's got to be as wide as a head, and you got to go a little deep, right? Can't just do it at the surface.
I'm assuming.
Wow.
With a knife.
Yeah.
Again, this shows commitment
Very
on her
committed.
part.
Yeah.
I mean, resume builder.
Yeah.
Resume builder.
No
right there. Trout, I'm ignoring you.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they bury the head, and then they throw all their tools in a nearby pond. Okay? Yeah. So it seems like this is good. We're done. We can go back to our lives. No. A few days later, for whatever reason, Linda goes back to where the head is buried.
Damn it, Linda.
Linda, listen. Listen, Linda.
Let it go, Linda.
So she goes back and unburies the head and sticks it in her son's school backpack.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
I guess they were still out of school from St. Patrick's Day.
I guess so. And the duffel bag's dirty, maybe even a little drippy, perhaps a little buggy.
And smelly.
And a little smelly.
So she has to unzip this duffel bag and grab a hold of that man's head, bring it up with her hands, and stuff it into her son's zip bag or book bag and zip it up.
Ken, where are all the people at the park?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not hitting any parks if we go to Ireland.
Oh, God, I'm not going. I'm not. I don't think I can go now because I'm not sure what's happening.
You can go. Just don't go to the parks.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to any parks.
No parks.
No parks and no open air shopping.
No, God, no.
There could be somebody walking around with a head and you don't know it. And you accidentally bump into them, you get blood on your khaki pants and it's not coming out.
Oh my gosh, we would just be screaming.
I'd be so mad. I'd be like, I don't know what's in that duffel bag, but you got some kind of a stain up on my khakis.
Well, listen, the thing of it is, you and I wouldn't even notice till we got back to the hotel.
No, and I'd be walking around, people are like, oh, that American with the smudge on her pants. Yeah, and they're thinking I got dookie on my pants. And I don't. It's somebody's blood. Somebody's bloody head has rubbed up against my leg in open air. It's not.
No.
So anyway, okay. So she goes and she unburies the head, and then she takes it out to some estate somewhere. I'm sure those are like abundant because it's all, estates everywhere. And she decides to sit down in this field, in this estate with her trusty hammer that I guess she didn't throw that in the pond.
Right.
And cracks that head into a gazillion pieces.
Wow. Right.
That's so disgusting.
Right.
That's not just a skull. He's still got skin and eyeballs and shit.
She's
he got
really
ears.
pissed.
She's mad.
She's real mad
and she's having some alone time with that head right now.
We're going to come to Jesus right now.
Right now.
Right now,
She breaks it apart and then she spreads it all along the field like as if she were planting daisies or something. I don't know. And she leaves it.
Wow. I'm going to want to know what field that was because we're definitely not going to want to go there.
I'm thinking. So, yeah, can you imagine I'm in my flip-flops and my toe comes up with an ear on it?
My
like,
gosh.
what the hell? First, I got a smudge on my khaki pants. I've gone back and I've gotten another pair of pants on and I'm in my flipper-floppers and now my toe has gotten some kind of an ear stuck on it. I'm not having it.
No.
I'm not having it.
Yeah, I don't see us going to Ireland.
Yep. So, fast forward 10 days later.
Okay.
Okay. And what do you think is floating in the Royal Canal?
Oh, I bet it is his penis.
It's not his penis.
Oh.
It's not.
Oh.
It is one of his legs.
Oh, damn.
It has worked its way out the trash sack.
Again, cheap-ass bags.
I'm telling you.
You got to buy brand-name trash bags if you're going to dispose of body parts.
It feels like you're speaking the truth right now. So, his legs
and I would be asking my sister, who bagged the legs?
Who bagged the legs? Because I don't think it was me.
I don't think it was me.
I was in charge of the head.
Correct.
Yeah. So, anyway, this leg still had a sock on it.
Oh, my God. He didn't even take his socks off?
Well, he probably had gnarly feet.
Yeah, it's
I'm thinking they don't get a lot of petties over there.
See, right?
Yeah, ew, man feet? No, I don't like a man feet. No, there are rules about man feet and they are to stay covered.
Yeah, they should.
Sorry if there are any men out there with pretty feet that I'm offending.
Exactly.
But you're a rarity if that's the case.
Right.
So, ew, man feet. So anyway, he has a sock on it. So, I guess
what kind of sock it was? Like a Jamaican sock?
He's not from Jamaica, sugar. He's from Kenya.
Okay, well maybe the Kenyan flag.
A Kenyan flag?
Yeah.
I wonder if they were flip-flop socks like we have.
I would love a flip-flop
sock.
I do too. Don't even get me started.
Mine have sumo wrestlers on them.
That's right. I got them for you.
That's right. So don't even get me started with the flip-flop sock.
I hear ya.
So anyway, the police sent some divers down and they were able to recover most of his body parts. Well, I mean, they got to put together a torso and you got phalanges and, things. You got things to put together. Of course, they didn't find a head.
Right.
And unfortunately, they never found his penis.
Oh, man.
No more penis.
That was fish bait.
That Willie want a Wonka.
Yeah. It wonked right out of there.
I think somebody found it floating, used it for bait, and caught them a big fish.
I think you might be right.
Yes. Speaking of big fish, your trout dog, your 14-pound trout is driving me insane. He's climbing up my leg with the toy in his mouth.
To play.
Sugar, I'm busy.
Yes.
Mr. Trout, eat that pretzel on the floor. Look, there's a treat for you. Okay. Anyway, I can't. So the police take the clothing. I guess they never undressed the man.
I guess not.
Except they undressed him enough to get his willy whacker off of there.
I mean, they were busy. You know how long it takes to cut somebody up with a box cutter?
Okay, but they got to his willy.
Busy.
Okay, well, they left some clothing items on there, and evidently they were recognized by a local.
Right. If they only talked about they probably didn't have any pants on.
Why wouldn't he have pants on when he didn't drop his drawers to get handsy?
I'm saying when they found his body parts, he didn't have on pants because it was just leg.
You know what? I wonder if he had on some basketball shorts.
Oh, maybe.
And it was easy to just cut that willy whacker right off of there, whack the willy off and pull them shorts back up. And then, because people wear like the slides with the socks and the.
Oh,
It's
right.
not a good look, but I'm
No.
not saying this was a good dresser either.
Well, we're not judging if people.
And
wanna
I don't
wear
know what
that.
the dress for St. Patty's Day is.
Right. I don't even know if it's cold, hot, short weather.
No clue.
Don't know.
But whatever it was, this man, they did not take all of his clothing off. So one of his friends was able to identify his T-shirt.
No.
Well, maybe he was the only one that wore that T-shirt. Or
Yeah.
maybe it was the combination of the sock and the T-shirt
That's what I'm
together. And
thinking.
he's like, my friend Farrah only wears those socks and that T-shirt together.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
Or maybe it was a T-shirt that said, "Hi, my name is Farrah."
Oh,
Ha! Didn't think about that, did you?
man.
Yeah.
Well, then I would think that the police would know his name was Farrah before the guy had to identify him.
Well, they had to be sure.
Well, you're right. So this guy, whatever, we're getting hung up. But this guy was able to say that this is my friend. His name is Farrah. He's Somali, and he lives with this woman and her daughters up here in this flat. So Linda, she cracked.
Oh, Linda.
Cracked like an egg on a hot summer day. I don't know why eggs crack on a hot summer day.
They
Cracked
don't.
like an egg stepped on with a boot. How's that?
Okay.
So
She sang like a canary.
she did. She did. She called up the police a few weeks after the body was discovered, and she admitted having some involvement. And she voluntarily went and gave them a recorded statement to the police reciting the events.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, she gave up her sister Charlotte and said she killed him.
Oh, God. What a great sister.
I mean, the rule of thumb is the first to talk gets to set the scene.
I guess, but I mean.
Hey, listen, at this point, I mean, it's every woman for herself. Because I'm just saying, you got to take care. I mean, you just have to, if you're going to say the events, you got to say the events. You got to say what happened. You got to come up with the truth. And the truth was Charlotte started it.
Oh, gosh.
So she told them what happened, and the investigators went up to Kathleen's fleet. No, it's not a fleet. It's a flat.
That's a flat. A fleet flat.
Her stupid apartment, and they discovered lots of blood stains all over the place, and they matched the body.
Let me just say, typical kids.
Yeah.
Don't clean up your mess.
I'm thinking they might have been tired, and couldn't the mom do one thing?
Really?
Wouldn't she? I mean, they're doing everything.
Right.
I get it. You've got kids. They do the heavy work, but by God, do something.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, she gives up her sister and her mom. Well, she doesn't give up her mom. She says, this is what happened. She says, my mom didn't have anything to do with it.
Oh, how nice.
And I know. And so, I mean, she's protecting her mom. And so, of course, what does any good mother do? She left and went to England.
She said, I'm out of here.
She's like, peace out, girls. I got to go.
You figure it out.
So while she's
Call me
in
when it's
England,
over.
yeah, while she's in England, she meets up with a man from Sierra Leone who had previously been convicted of rape,
Oh, she's
and
got
she started up a relationship with him.
Charlene's got a type.
Well, her name is Kathleen, and
Kathleen.
you continuously try to call her by a name that is not hers, and I don't want to piss the woman off. So her name is Kathleen.
Sorry, Kathleen.
Kathleen. So anyway, she has a type. She likes the rapist, and she likes them, I guess, from the continent of Africa.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes to England, and she stays there, and she actually stays there until 2008. So, and then she went, for whatever reason, she decided to go back and give herself up. She was convicted of helping her daughters clean up and get rid of the body. So she served 5 years.
I have a feeling that she perhaps was summoned back.
Mm-mm.
You think she voluntarily woke up one day and said, I'll just go back?
They don't have extradition.
I didn't say she was extradited.
Well, how can they summons her?
I think they probably put some pressure on her and said, you need to get your ass back here and be
maybe
accountable.
that good man rapist from Sierra Leone.
Yes, and you need to do the right thing, baby.
You got to do the right thing. Let me help you with your morals.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, she goes back. Her daughters never testify against her. They never, ever admit to her involvement. But she does get convicted of tampering with the body and cleaning up the stuff or whatever.
Wow.
So, They did mention that Kathleen had asked them several times when over the years that she was living with Farrah, she had asked them to please kill him for her.
Oh.
Because she felt like he was so abusive that one day he would eventually cause her death. So she planted the seed there, but that's fine. That's fine. So anyway, in the media, the daughters became known as the Scissor Sisters.
The what?
The Scissor Sisters.
Now, I don't recall there being scissors.
There's not.
Why not the Stanley sisters?
Well, I would think the Stanley Company would have a little bit of a problem with that.
Or the Psycho sisters.
Or the Cut 'em Up Sisters.
Cut 'em Up sisters.
Or the Head in the Duffel Bag Sisters.
Right.
Doesn't have the same
Scary
term.
Sisters. Or
yeah, but that's too
sisters.
generic. I think Scissor Sisters, they're just really good at cutting things.
Okay.
I mean, look at them. They're good. They can even dig a hole with a knife. Like, they can do a lot of things.
Right.
So the funny thing is there is a band in the UK also called the Scissor Sisters.
Oh.
So I'm sure they were like, oh, free advertising.
Right.
Everybody, come to our show.
Absolutely.
So these girls were called the Scissor Sisters, but it was not because of their musical talents. It was more of their, I would say, tailoring of dead bodies talents.
Right.
Yes. So Charlotte, who was 25 years old at the time, was sentenced to life for murder.
Oh, right.
She went for life.
Because she did it.
Well, because her sister let everybody know she did it. She started it. She started it.
Yeah.
So Linda, who was the older sister, was sentenced to 15 years for manslaughter.
Oh.
So I'm thinking they go pretty easy on their ladies.
They did go very easy on her, especially considering she went back, got the head, and hammered it to death.
I think they're okay with that because it was all after the fact. I think that, I just think that there are not a lot of women. Well, when I looked on Murderpedia, there's only 4 women listed as murderers in Ireland, and 2 of them were these girls. Oh. So I don't think it's something that happens very often, or maybe they just didn't record it in history back then because, I don't know, they respected women. I don't know.
I doubt that, but
so,
okay.
Whatever. The crazy thing is that all 3 of these women ended up in the same prison.
Oh, so it's like family again.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are family. I got my Scissor Sisters with me.
And my mom.
And my mom, who says she didn't do nothing.
But that's okay, because we love her.
We love my mom. But then Charlotte ruins it.
Damn it, Charlotte.
She gets photographed jokingly holding a knife to a male prisoner's throat in a reenactment of the crime.
Oh, Charlotte.
So she's not taking things too seriously.
No, it's like, hey, look what I did.
But what kind of a prison lets you mingle with the men? Like, what's happening there? How many pregnancies are they having?
What was she holding to his...
A knife.
So how'd she get it?
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, are they letting her go to the do kitchen duty?
I don't know. Hey, let me see your knife.
Or maybe she just happened to see a box cutter somewhere
and she said, don't
hey.
worry about me, because remember, I use scissors.
But she didn't use scissors.
Know, but everybody called her the Scissor
Sisters.
Sisters.
That's true. That's very true. So anyway, and then Charlotte also got caught having sex with the jail worker in her cell. But, you know, that happens. When you're there for life, you got to pass the time.
I mean, yeah.
You got to pass the time.
Girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
Well, and then she got transferred to Limerick.
Okay, bye.
So she got separated from her mom and her sister.
Probably for the best.
So remember the dad, John?
I do.
The dad that probably originally kicked this whole thing off because he was abusive to Kathleen in their marriage. And then he only took the good kids.
Right. I hold him accountable.
So I'm just saying he might have had something to do with this. Well, let me tell you something about little John. He was so upset when he heard of the conviction of his daughters that he went to a nearby park and hanged himself.
God, at the park?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I don't know what it is about parks, but I'm not going to one in Ireland.
Park.
I don't know what's going on in these parks.
If any sightseeing tour lists something as a park, we're out.
We're out. I'm not going to a park, and I'm not going to an estate with a field.
No.
I can't do it.
Not doing it.
No, and I'm not going to an open-air mart, and I'm not going to a Royal Canal. There's a lot of places I'm not going.
No.
I'm canceling my trip.
Yes.
I'm touching down, and I'm leaving.
We're out.
Maybe Scotland is the better place for us.
Perhaps.
So anyway, he went to the park and hanged himself. I don't know why it had to be the park. Can you imagine some little kid like kicks the ball and it comes, sir, hey over there, can you throw me my red ball that just rolled over under your feet? And he's like, no lad, I'm about to hang myself. Get your ball and get to getting, because I'm about to hang myself. I'm stringing myself up from this tree, little lad. Can't you see? And that's my Southern Ireland accent coming out again.
Perfect.
I know it's good. So anyway, and so then they had this brother James, and he actually got...
So he's one of the good guys, right?
Nope, because he must have been the third one that stayed with the mom, because he actually got convicted of robbing 2 sex workers, claiming that he was trying to support not only his 6 children, but also Linda's 4 that she left behind.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, good kid, bad kid.
Right.
He did take in the 4 kids of his sister. He's trying to provide for them.
But just
not really in the right way. But, I mean, his intentions were there. He was
Right.
trying. So, Linda actually was released from prison in 2013 after serving 12 of her 15 years. Seems like she was the model prisoner.
So she's still there in Dublin.
What just said she was released? I think she's in Dublin.
So we're not going there.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going. And then the mom does this tell-all interview, which I guess, the tabloids just were like, we need to interview this kooky woman. And she revealed that she is dying and needs a lung transplant.
Oh.
She also reveals that her relationship with her daughter Linda is on the rocks.
I wonder why.
Her daughter no longer speaks to her.
I wonder why.
Because her mama did not do a good job cleaning up.
No.
Mama, we did everything else. You couldn't spray some Windex? Like, what up? What up? So anyway, they don't have a good relationship. But Charlotte, being the good kid that she is,
right,
she has offered up one of her lungs for her mother.
That's super sweet.
I think it's because she wants to go to the hospital, have some good hospital food, and maybe even do some sex things when she's recovering with one of the
and she
hospital
totally
workers.
wants the good drugs.
Oh my God, you're so right. She still has a drug problem.
Yeah.
So there's been no word to date as if Kathleen and Linda have been able to repair their relationship. But listen, Dr. Phil has got to get them on.
He does. I'm surprised.
I think he can fix this.
I think he can.
I'm going to write to him and say, Dr. Phil, do I have the family for you?
Yes.
Because then they can also get Charlotte in on like a remote TV kind of a situation.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, this would be such a good Dr. Phil moment.
You're onto something.
Dr. Phil moment, yeah. So anyway, that is the story of the Scissor Sisters out of Dublin. And the Mulhalls.
Well, that was quite a story.
It was quite a story. I so enjoyed it.
Me too.
Excuse me, please. So what's happening with your cake?
I got about 30 minutes left on my cake.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a murder?
I have a murder.
Okay, well then let's swing around and I'll stand in the kitchen and watch the cake and take it out and eat it. And then you do your murder. I'm not even going to pause it. I'm just going to walk around because that's what we do. We just walk.
Should we... Okay. We're walking, and we're done.
Scene.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not a very big estate.
Oh, well, I thought it took me a long time to get here. I was exhausted.
All right, so.
What are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about Mary Ann Britland, and she is out of Merry Old England. Yeah.
Look at both of us over in the UK.
Yeah.
We must have the travel bug.
We must, but I don't know if I want to go to these places anymore. I'm just going to say.
I know. I mean, my bucket list has gotten a big hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to rethink some things.
Absolutely.
Do some new planning. Anyway.
Yes.
Mary Ann is married.
Aww.
She married a fellow named Tom Britland. And she's got 2 beautiful daughters, Elizabeth and Susanna. Susanna. Yeah. Okay, so Mary Ann is a hard worker. She works in a factory by day, and at night she works in a bar.
Where the hell is her husband that
She's
she got to do all this working?
I know.
God.
Well, this takes place in the 1800s, so let's just remember...
I'm saying.
She
just didn't marry well.
She did not.
I'm sorry.
She did not. So she and her family decide they're going to move into a rental house.
Okay.
And she gets to the rental house and she is very upset because she says that there is a mouse infestation.
A mouse in the house?
There's a mouse in the house.
Oh, Lordy.
Get it out.
Damn mouse. Get out my house.
So, she needs something to get rid of this mouse problem that she has.
Yeah, it's called mouse bait.
Okay.
What's it called?
Well, evidently, it's not something you can just find at the store back in the 1800s. Marianne had to go to a chemist.
A chemist?
A chemist.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Chemist.
She went to the chemist and
Hello,
she said, Governor, I have a mouse problem.
I have a mouse upon my house.
So the chemist says, I've got just the thing for you.
He said it just like that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's vermin killer.
Not vermin killer.
But in order for...
We're so good at voices.
I know.
Impressions.
Yeah. We should totally go because they would not know we were...
No, they'd be like, are you the native? I'd be like, why, I am, Governor.
Governor.
Well, yes, I am.
Yes, I am. So in order for her to get the vermin killer, she had to sign a poison register.
Oh, Lord.
Much like we do today when we want to buy, let's say, Sudafed.
Right.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
We got
What's
a
your
cold.
blood type? What's the name of your firstborn? Who your daddy is?
Right.
I mean, how your mama doing? No, you can't have any Sudafed.
No.
Jeez.
So Marianne gets this vermin killer and she takes it back to her house and lives life, like she should. And lo and behold, her 19-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, just up and dies.
Just like that.
She just died. She died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, of natural causes.
I will tell you, back then, I don't think the lifespan was very long.
I don't think so either, but I think it should have been a little longer than 19.
Right. Okay, all right. Because, I think living back in the 1800s, that was hard stuff. But they didn't know it was hard because they didn't have anything to compare it to.
Right. It's very true.
Yeah.
So
they didn't have Michael J. Fox going back to the future to tell them.
This is what's going to happen.
This is what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So, good news. Elizabeth had a 10-pound life insurance policy.
I thought you were going to say a 10-pound tumor.
No,
I
it's
couldn't
not.
figure out why that was good news.
No.
Good news.
No.
We found 10 pounds
It's a tumor.
Yeah, and that's the mouse.
It's the mouse.
She had a life insurance policy.
Yeah, so,
I don't know how much 10 pounds is.
Well, back then, probably a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Right.
true. Like, at least $100.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that was in March.
Okay.
Okay. And, she's all torn up, sad. She gets the life insurance money.
Oh.
Super sad. And in May of that same year, her husband, Tom, he dies.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the doctor said it was undiagnosed epilepsy that killed him.
Lord, can you die from I guess you can die from epilepsy because
Yeah.
he said he died from epilepsy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, thank goodness, Tom also had a life insurance policy.
Oh, yeah,
So she got a little money from that, too.
A little scratch.
But then Marianne's all
Get me
alone.
through.
Poor Marianne.
Well, she does have a daughter left.
She does have a daughter left, but I don't know what's come of her.
Well, perhaps she ran for the hills.
She may have.
Because she said, there's a mouse in the house and it's killing my peeps.
Exactly.
And I got to go.
Got to go. Right.
I'm going to Dublin.
I'm Dublin.
Run to Dublin.
No. So, luckily, she's got some very, very nice neighbors.
It's good to be friends with your neighbors.
Yeah. Mary Dixon and her husband, Tom.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's a Mary and a Tom.
It's a Mary and a Tom.
And a Mary and a Tom.
Correct.
Well,
Well, it was Mary Ann.
Who were their
Tom.
other neighbors? Tom and Mary?
Tom and Mary.
Or Tom
and
and
Jerry.
Jerry. And Mary, you got the
And
mouse.
the mouse. Right.
Jeez. It all makes sense now.
So Tom and Mary say, oh, poor Mary Ann. You're
Okay.
and then back in.
Yeah, you got it.
Sorry, I lost my place.
I'm sorry, I had to find out how to test this cake. I got it.
Yeah, you're going to test it and then put it back in for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, back to the story.
Sorry.
So they have said, come on, live with us.
Oh, the neighbors did?
The neighbors did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice of them.
So Mary Ann moves in.
All right.
11 days after that,
Uh-huh.
in May,
Mm-hmm.
poor Mary Dixon died.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Mary Dixon has now passed on. She's crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. She's, I don't know how else to put it.
Oh my gosh.
She's done. Yeah, done for.
Okay, I'm starting to smell more than a mouse. I'm smelling a rat. Just saying, something is going on.
Yeah, well, so the neighbors in this town started to get a little bit suspicious at this point because, you know, we've got the death of the daughter in March, the death of the husband in May, and then the death of a wife in May.
In the same May.
All in the same area of town.
Somebody's working fast.
Right. So the medical examiner decides that he's going to look at Mary Dixon's body, and what he finds is that there is a lethal amount of 2 different poisons.
Oh!
Right.
What poisons? Alright, this needs 18 minutes.
I can't remember the names of the poisons. Having a blank moment.
Well, whatever they were poisonous.
They were poisonous.
Not a good combination.
Not good for people.
Okay.
So, immediately the police say Mary Ann and Thomas Dixon have killed this poor woman.
Oh my gosh.
And they go and arrest. Right.
So the husband gets arrested too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last man standing never looks good for you.
No.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
It does not.
So Mary Ann, it turns out, had a really humongous crush on Thomas Dixon.
That hussy.
I know. Yeah. And she had suspected that her daughter, Elizabeth, knew about it. Right? So
the daughter that died.
Correct. So she said...
Another Mother of the Year.
Right. Right. So, Thomas, they can't find any reason why he would kill his wife. There's no connection to any other killings. So they eventually let Thomas Dixon go. But they got some more questions for Mary Ann.
You think?
They decide that they are going to dig up Elizabeth, the daughter.
Okay.
And they're going to dig up Tom.
Oh.
The husband.
The epilepsy Tom.
Correct.
Okay.
So the medical examiner goes in and he starts poking around, does some testing, and guess what? They've got that same poison that Mary Dixon had in her.
The rat poison.
The rat poison. Yeah.
Arsenic.
Right.
Arsenic is in rat poisoning.
Right, but there was something else I can't remember.
It's fine. Whatever it is, it's lethal.
It's vermin killer.
Vermin killer.
And it has killed more than the vermin.
It really has.
Yes.
It seems like the vermin is the one that's killing all the people with the vermin killer.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, they've got Mary Ann under arrest. They start asking her questions. She says, okay, I did it.
Oh.
But it's because I really love Thomas Dixon.
Maybe she was confused about which Tom she was married to.
Right. I think she just felt like she married the wrong one.
I married the wrong Tom.
Right. Oh, what am I going to do?
I'm going to kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, she says, all right, well, I killed my daughter because I think she knew that I was in love with Tom Dixon.
And that I was about to kill her daddy.
And that was not going to work out for me. So I had to kill her.
Well, what else can you do?
Right. And then, of course, after she was gone, I had to kill my husband because how else was I going to be with Tom Dixon?
Because I'm so busy working as a barmaid and what else was
factory
she?
Worker.
A factory worker that I got to get rid of my husband. So I've got like literally an hour between jobs.
Right.
I can't split my time between two Toms.
Got to get it done.
I got to have the right Tom at the right time.
Exactly.
There you go.
And then, killing the wife. How else am I going to have my new husband, Tom?
I just feel so bad for that woman.
Mary Dixon.
Yeah, I feel bad for the husband and the daughter, but
sure.
She wasn't even related to that hussy.
I know.
That hussy killed her. She was hospitable enough to invite that woman into her home.
Yeah.
And say, we're going to take care of you in this dark time. And then...
in your hour of need,
in your hour of need,
and then
you're going to give me
said,
vermin killer.
How about I get you a cup of tea?
How about a tea?
A tea.
A tea.
Should we have tea?
Should we have Earl Grey or Jane Grey? Oh my gosh. And a biscuit. They always have a biscuit with tea.
With a biscuit.
Which turns out is a cookie.
It is indeed a cookie.
It's like a cracker cookie.
Yeah. It's very confusing how they call things different. But whatever, I'll eat it.
And they had tea like 3 times a day, so there was plenty of time to rat poison that girl.
Yeah.
In her own home.
In her own home. But then the police said, hey, we're going to go and see what's at this house that Mary Ann lived in with her family. They go in and they find out there aren't any mice. There are no rats. There's no
wonder her daughter was suspicious. She brings home this big old vat of rat killer and there ain't no rats.
Right.
She's like, Mama, there ain't no mouse in here. There's no mouse in our house.
No mouse in the house. And it turns out with that life insurance money that she got, she'd been back to see the chemist quite a few times.
Oh, jeez.
Right. So she'd gone back and gotten some vermin killer. Yeah, she just said,
Bad
hey,
use
it's
of her funds.
not working.
I
need more.
Inappropriation of funding.
Yes.
Misappropriation of funds. That's what it is.
Right. So she actually only got tried for Mary Dixon's murder. I don't really know why that is. I guess because...
Well, I mean, if they felt like they had her dead to rights, I mean, how many guilties do you need?
Right, and back in the 1800s, if you're found guilty, it's not like you're just going to spend the rest of your life in jail.
Not like today, when you spend, your twilight years
right.
watching TV.
Exactly.
Yeah, and writing letters.
Right.
And searching the internet and getting degrees.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. The case lasted for 2 days. There was overwhelming evidence.
I would imagine.
And when she was in court, she said, I am quite innocent.
Oh, I'm quite innocent.
I'm not guilty at all.
I'm quite innocent, Governor.
I am not guilty at all.
Oh.
Right. Even though they had overwhelming evidence and there were people testifying against her. There were no mouse in her house.
No.
And she got all these people dead around her.
In like 2 months' time.
Yeah.
Maybe she should have spaced it out like a year in between. She just was hot for Thomas.
Yeah. And listen.
Not hot for teacher, hot for Thomas.
Right. Yeah. These people take care of business because you figure this all started in March. That same year, July, she was convicted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They work really quick back in the 1800s.
Listen, lady.
We're not talking about this.
You're out.
You're out.
You're out. We're not.
Yes.
No.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So they sentenced her to hanging.
Oh, yeah. Swinging.
Yeah. You're out. I mean, you are out.
We're not just going to say you're out, but we're going to put you out.
Right. And because she killed 3 people, she was considered a serial killer.
Oh, my God. She was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and they all died in similar ways because that's also one of the characteristics of a serial killer.
Yeah. So back in the day, in the 1800s, you had to sit for 3 weeks in jail before you were hanged. I guess it's their death row.
Yeah, that's like torture.
Right.
Because
think about what you've done.
I don't think they had an appeals court that you got to go to 23,000 times and ask people, are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. No, they didn't have that.
Right. And in that 3 weeks' time, Mary Ann became a little mentally unstable.
Good for her.
Yeah. She was overcome with emotion.
Well, maybe it was guilt. And them chickens came right home to roost.
That's right. And she couldn't walk herself to the gallows.
Oh.
2 female wardens had to...
Please, I cannot walk to my death. I shan't walk to my death.
I shan't because I'm not guilty.
I can't.
Just can I have one more cup of tea?
And another 3 weeks.
Somebody call the governor.
Please. Oh, they didn't even have phones, did they? When was the telephone invented?
Ring the governor.
Please. Send the
governor a telegram.
Please send the chemist to fetch the governor. Oh my gosh.
So she gets up to the gallows and she refuses. I don't know if she can or she can't.
Then she thought, if I can't stand up, they can't hang me.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
She just collapses.
Yeah.
So 2 male wardens step in.
Such gentlemen.
Yeah. And they get the noose around her neck.
Oh my gosh.
And they're literally holding her up and they coordinate with the executioner. I guess he sends them a signal, and when the doors open to drop down,
They just let her
they
go.
just let her go.
You know what? And she deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it does say in the story that she was gently dropped.
Oh, because you know why?
She was gently dropped.
Chivalry had not yet died. That's why. Back then, they were still gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. They
we will
wanted her.
gently drop you to your death
That's right.
of hanging.
She was the very first woman to be executed at this prison in Manchester.
Manchester, England.
Manchester.
That's where Kathleen ran off to in my murder, so I'm not going there.
Yeah,
Strike
Manchester
that one off
is
my
definitely
list.
off. Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
And
I
it
can't
was
see a reason to go.
such a big deal that the executioner wrote a book. When he retired, he wrote a book, and he talked about the execution of Mary Ann Britland.
So she at least did one thing good in her death. She made somebody else famous for
she did.
hanging her.
She did.
Way to go, Mary Ann.
Yeah.
Way to depart this life on a high
Short
note.
and sweet, I know, but still
It was still a good one.
really messed up.
Yeah, because, I mean, back then, it's not like you just got in your car and ran around the corner to the Target and ran in to get some rat poison and ran home.
Right.
Like, when you go to the chemist, I'm sure you have to walk into town.
You've got to walk into town.
And they didn't have tennis shoes back then. Women wore those Victorian pointy shoes with
Right.
the lace up and all the corsets and the things hanging off of them. That's not easy just to walk to town to the chemist. Walk back, you've got to carry your own rat poisoning because there is no car to load it into.
Right.
I'm not sure. I mean, I think this was hard work. She had to put hard work into this.
Hard work.
But then once she got there, and her daughter said, Mama, why you got vermin killer? There ain't no mouse in our house.
Right.
And she was like, well, let me serve you a cup of tea and I'll tell you about it.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Let's have this cup of tea. Right.
Gosh.
That's
what
why
is
you
wrong
make your
with
own
these
tea.
women?
Make your own tea.
Make your own tea.
Don't let other people make drinks for you.
It's the way, it's like roofie now, but back then it was vermin killer in the tea.
Right.
Don't ever lose
Don't
sight
do it.
of your own drink.
Don't
It's
do
got
it.
to be your own.
It has to be.
Oh, well, that was a good murder, though, Sugar.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that all this happened over in the UK, because that must mean that we don't have any murders here in the United States. This is a perfect place to live.
Okay. It was kind of
All right,
nice
well,
to take
guess
a
what?
break. Is that cake coming out of the oven?
It is. It's coming out right now.
That's really good news.
Oh, my God. It just smells so good. It smells so
It
good.
does smell good. It's the best. This is just the easiest cake. It's great if you want to take it, for a holiday party or whatever, because you just throw everything together. It's not like you do the wet ingredients, the dry ingredients. It just, everything
love
goes
it.
in a bowl. You mix it up. I use my KitchenAid because I'm lazy. And
That's not lazy. You have to get that KitchenAid off the top of your fridge.
it's true. Every single
is a
time.
lot of work.
It is a lot of work
So
for
don't
me.
cut yourself short,
I
Sugar.
shan't. I shan't.
Y'all shan't.
I shan't. So anyway, let's get a slice of it and see how it tastes.
All right, hold on.
Can you get it? You're having a hard time?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Just flip it right out.
Yep.
You got
Then we
this.
got a little plate. It's real hot though, Sugar, so let me just get this. It's real hot. Be careful.
I will.
right.
Oh, God, that looks delicious. It's amazing.
All right, here you go.
It looks so good. Y'all have
It's
no
real hot.
idea.
Hold on. All right, well, we're not going to chew in your faces, but I got to tell you.
That is
This
delicious.
is absolutely yummy. Y'all got to try this. Hey, if you want this recipe, you can email us at murder.sugarcoated@gmail.com or visit our webpage, which is, I don't remember the webpage.
Yes, you do.
Is it sugarcoated?
Murder.
Sugarcoatedmurder.com.
Sounds good to me.
But that's so easy. I'm so glad we have that simple name.
Me too.
And we also have a Facebook group, and you can join our Facebook group. Please do, because we need a lot of people to talk about murder to when we're not talking about murder on this.
And
we
also
feel a
we'll
little
have-
weird when we're just talking to each other on Facebook, because that's weird.
It's lonely.
It's lonely. So anyway, let us know if you want the recipe. We will share it with you. And
We'll put a picture up on our page too.
Yes, on our Facebook page and on our website, there'll be a picture of it. And you all stay sweet.
Thank you for listening. Y'all have a great week.
Bye now.
Bye.